Okay, I got to admit, I'm a little frustrated by this thing. And a tad disappointed, but it's a running car now. So why am I frustrated and disappointed? Finding information on even the simplest adjustments, the simplest troubleshooting for a propane-powered hot rod is like, it's just not there. You can find it for forklifts, and some of it is applicable, but no, to troubleshoot, to work through common, simple issues like you would find with a carburetor with a propane setup, it's not the same. So yesterday, I flogged all day to get this thing running because today was the day. Today was the day that we were going to take it out and we were going to actually make some running around the area a little bit here. And, you know, I'm thinking to myself the whole time, I'm saying like, yes, it'll run good, and you know we'll do like a great burnout, right? I'm picturing the thumbnail for this video like this biggest burnout. I'm saying yes, we'll wow the bastards with the biggest burnout they've ever seen. Well, you know, I got it running, and I started working through some of the bugs, enough of the bugs that I can actually take it out and try to make it, you know, function. But burnout, no, it does not make enough breakaway power to do a burnout, to do like a brake stand. Okay, now that's not to say that once you get past that, it does make power, and I'm going to show you all of this in a couple of minutes. But I mean, so these are marks from screwing around yesterday. So while it won't sit there and do a burnout, it will spin the tires once you take your foot off the brake and you know let it fly. But let's go back and let's talk about issues. Let's talk about some of the things I'm finding with this. So the first thing was I got the tank filled yesterday. So I went to Air Gas. It was only 33 bucks. And I says, that's a great bargain. Full tank of propane, $33. All right, you know, obviously I ran my line and everything. It's all scooted under the car where, you know, it's like safe and out of the way and secured very well. All right, so I get the tank filled, it's 33 bucks. Good deal, right? After an hour of screwing around with this thing, just playing with adjustments and idling it and just a little bit of screwing around out here, burned 3/4 of a tank. That's what I got left. So no, it's definitely not an economy thing. But again, it might just be because I'm not really familiar with this and I might have wasted a lot of propane, right? All right, but let's not even go there. So main issue that I'm having, most frustrating issue that I'm having is I can't get it to start. It will not start on its own, okay? Meaning that either from ice cold or even after it's fully warmed up, turn the ignition on, spin the motor, it won't start. It'll cough and sneeze a little bit, but it won't start. The only way I've been able to get this thing to start, aside from holding on the primer button, so on the evaporator here, or the regulator, it has a primer button, and by holding this down while you crank the motor, it enriches it and it'll start. But in theory, you shouldn't have to do that at all once it's up and running. So now I can't, my arms aren't 9 feet long, so I can't reach out from inside the car while I'm cranking it and push down on the button. So the way I've been starting this car is by using a gasoline primer. I pull out the PCV valve, flip it upside down, squirt a bunch of gas in there, put it back, and then it fires right up. I tried to find information. I tried to find troubleshooting, and there's nothing. There's a start assist solenoid that can be incorporated into this, but I don't see where it should be necessary. Like I see lots and lots of systems that don't have it. All right, fine. I may have to add a start assist to this. But how do you adjust it, right? Because what I found was it was lean. It was really lean. During the course of it, so obviously troubleshooting now, it won't fire unless you prime it, so it's got to be lean, right? Well, where do you make your adjustments on this? I'm going through the whole internet trying to find any information on proper settings for one of these propane carburetors. This is an IMCO 425. All right. There's nothing except for vague references to big bolts in various locations that you turn the bolts and this makes a difference in the way it runs. Well, the only obvious adjustment on this is the throttle stop. This is a Holley base plate that the mixer is mounted to. So it's just got a standard Holley setup here. But where do you find any other adjustments? This is not an adjustment, this is just a pipe plug. Take it out, there's nothing there. Same here, just a pipe plug. Information is scarce. All right, so finally, I find that there's supposed to be a big bolt here and a big bolt here. But clearly, there's no bolts. What do? Well, if you look down inside there, you see that it's got a hole, and you adjust it with an Allen key. You put the Allen key through the hole, whoops, put the Allen key through the hole like that, and you adjust it this way. In the course of trying to understand what was going on here, I pulled this cover off, and behind here is a diaphragm with a spring and like a seesaw type of deal. And this controls, I guess, the spring tension. But anyway, it doesn't make any difference. I backed it out until it was fat, right? Until it was like really fat. You could smell the burning propane. And it didn't make any difference in the way it started. So right now it's set to where it's it's like a half turn past full rich. All right, so that's that adjustment. What else did I find with this? Like I said, I had it running for about an hour yesterday, and it takes half of that to warm up. It literally just sits here. It's about 60 degrees. It was about 60 degrees yesterday too. It takes 20 minutes to a half hour before this thing fully warms up. And it only ever gets to about 180 degrees. If that, like 170, 180. The highest I've seen was 180, and then it just goes right down to 170. And I know that that's one of the virtues of propane, is that they run cool. Maybe a little bit too cool. So let me fire this thing up, show you guys how it runs. Let me put this down. Nice healthy squirt. Okay. So remember, this thing is ice cold as the first start today. This is as simple as you can get. This is the only switches on this car, on and off for the ignition, and a starter button. I may not have turned on the propane. Hang on. Oops. All right, let's try it again. It gets a solid 7+ for sound. It gets a 9 for smell. You just need to make a little more power with it, but that's coming, that's coming. So, like I said, it's going to take forever for this thing to warm up. So I'm going to shut this now, and then we'll take it out. I'll show you how this thing runs when you punch it. Let me turn this thing around. Oh, there you go. Absolutely nothing off the, the dig. But I just found another problem we're gonna have to figure out. Nothing off the dig, but once it actually starts rolling, the power comes on decently. And remember, it's a stock torque converter and 323 gears. And that's because we only have 460 CFM to feed 365 cubic inches. So that's why everything is as conservative as it is. But what I just found now was I glanced down at the oil pressure gauge right before I hit the brakes, and it was buried down 0, which means I've got I've got an oil slosh problem. So this is a stock hemi pan, stock pickup with a windage tray, a windage tray, and yeah, that's a problem. So okay, on the bad side, it just doesn't have the dig, and on the good side is it accelerates hard enough to cause oil to slosh back. So, but okay, that's another issue. I'm gonna have to take the pan off of this thing and figure out what's up with it. So here you go, the Hindenburg. Oh God. All right, I'm gonna keep picking away at this thing. So there you go. It's a running car. It makes noise, kind of spins the tires, and I have problems to figure out. I'll see you tomorrow.